So it must be about ready to hit the track. Or not. Let's find out why. So yes, obviously the car isn't track ready. It's not even road ready. However, there's a few bits going on. Throttle body's still being done by Ultra Precision. They said that was going to be a few weeks anyway. So I decided to get myself busy with something else. So let's hit that wide track suspension again. So yes, I'm here in the driver's arch again, and a few less parts. There should be a shock. One of these. That should be in there. Shh. So in here at the minute we do have a camber bolt, the original bolt down the bottom. And if I'm honest, that's actually sitting let's knock this off, pretty damn nicely in the arch. So I may have not bothered to pick the camera up. I've been rattling through trying to get the lower arms on as quick as I can. So lo and behold, both sides I've taken, let's see, yeah, there we are, there we go. So both sides I've taken a cutting disc to that, and I need some longer drive shafts, which we knew, but I need to find out how much longer. So this is where we find that out, with a little bit of ingenuity and some piping. And so, with a bit of old pipe that I've had kicking about, a bit of plastic hose, it's not perfect, but it's enough to attach one end to the other. So yeah, one end in the gearbox, one end in the hub, and all you do from there is jack the suspension up. Yeah, he says. Except that's not properly in the top either. I can't do anything right. And then measure this at different heights for the gap in the middle, and basically work out the smallest distance. With that length, you then send the centre part of the drive shaft and the ends off to a company. They manufacture you a new length centre shaft for a cost, obviously it's a business, and then you have a new length drive shaft. The key thing is working to the shortest length possible for the drive shaft, because obviously if you get too long, it's then going to bind up somewhere, it's going to lock, it's not going to rotate. You've basically wasted your money. So it's crucial to get that measurement right, which is why I'm obviously going to do that off camera. There we are, proof that the passenger side is on as well. So again, just need to measure up that gap, which on the driver's side is about 55-60 mil is going to be the best length. So a bit of time spent under there trying to get the right measurements. The arms are actually 50 mil wider. Driver's side, I think 55 mil longer is going to be best length. Passenger side actually about 65 mil. The inner CV joint isn't bottoming out at that depth, so it's got space inwards, and it obviously leaves space to come outwards as well, for when you lower the suspension, when you jack it up. So that's confusing, but obviously it just means that from standard the passenger side was probably further out in the cup anyway, so I'm just taking up a bit of the slack. So that's the drive shaft length set. I've got the outer joints bolted in, which means that I can lower the car onto the ground, which means I could actually looking down, I might as well let it down and actually see how bad this camber is with the new arms on, set to their minimum. Let's give it a crack. So with it on the ground, we have the camber. That looks a little bit excessive. So using an actual gauge, which was kindly borrowed from somewhere, and a highly calibrated and accurate tool, and you can see there, that is dead level. We're looking about four, maybe 5 degrees of camber. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure if that's really excessive. I can't say I've ever really adjusted camber. I think for a road going kart, that would obviously be too much. For something that I'm hoping might see the track someday, it sounds a lot to probably be driving around on the road with. But how many miles is this car really going to be doing on road? How many miles is it really going to be doing on track? I don't know. I really don't know. But without trying to find some kind of way of adjusting that, whether it's boring slightly into the shocks, just widening the hole in them maybe, it's certainly an option, just to try and give it that extra bit of camber. It'd probably work. I'll do a very quick insert here because I found out 5 degrees is just too much. Researching, it should be 3.5, 3 maximum, certainly for a road going track car. So little bit of tinkering. And found with the lower shock mount bolt, got an adjustable bolt in the top, which doesn't give me enough. So with the bottom, I could come across a bit further and just need to simply elongate the hole there. Should hopefully give me enough just to make it about the ballpark of what it needs to be. I was thinking it was going to be a lot more than that when I initially looked. I was bricking it slightly, I'm not going to lie. So hopefully that will do. The only thing... apologies for the close-up there. The top mounts, I was trying to see how much angle was on them as well. Hadn't looked. So hopefully they might be okay as well. We might get away with this. I genuinely wasn't confident when I started. Obviously it's at the lowest setting, track width wise, and I'm not going to lie, it's actually it's sitting quite nicely. Could it come out some more? Yes. Will it come out some more? Don't really know. But yeah, I'm actually quite chuffed. I really wish those front arches were bloody tubbed. That would make a huge amount of difference, no doubt. But then it would also reduce the travel of the shot. Yeah, that's another... If I win the lottery tonight, maybe, but for now, no. Anyway, you've heard me rabbit on enough. I'm so happy to finally get the arms on there. Obviously, the car's not moving now because the drive shafts are in 2 pieces. So I've really got to pull my finger out and actually get it sorted. Get them shipped off, get them done. That's one thing. They're going to take about a month to manufacture. In the meantime, hopefully, I'm going to be able to get the throttle adapter back from Ultra Precision. Hadn't heard from them, but they said a couple of weeks timeline, so I was expecting it. Still, but yeah, it's all about the width. So yeah, anyway, if you've heard me ramble on for this long, thank you, do appreciate it, and we might be driving the car this summer. Who knows? Anyway, take care, and I shall catch you all soon.